United have won a trophy!
Liverpool's wheels are frankly falling off at the end of the season, and as a Liverpool fan it pains me to see, but to be completely honest, we were warned. Several mistakes were made by the club in the last months, and at some point it even looked inevitable for this outcome to happen. But why did Liverpool experience such a downgrade in performance, and is there a way that could have been prevented? Well, we gotta simply look back. History repeats itself, and I'm pretty sure we have already seen that last year. The FA Cup quarterfinal against Manchester United had exactly the same effect on us as the PSG game in the Champions League last week. We're going into the game as favourites, which, especially for the European game against this young and incredible PSG team, seems absolutely diabolical to me. But regardless, expectations are set so high that it is actually getting caught up here, and Liverpool should apparently win and I guess dominate both matches, score like 7 goals in Paris and make the second game practically pointless. Well, yes, but football is this special place where you certainly cannot plan events, and if you do, then you're bound for a bitter spoon full of disappointments. And I would not want to make any excuses about the Reds, don't get me wrong. We were simply not good enough to deserve to qualify, and especially across both legs, we were outplayed by the French champion. They pinned us against the wall in the first match, and it took a whole lot of luck plus a masterpiece goalkeeping performance by Alisson to not concede. And all it takes for you to subscribe is literally pressing one button, so if you happen to be bored or don't know what to do right now, just go ahead and click it. I won't be mad, I promise. The whole luck thing was turned upside down for the match at Anfield, and because of a really silly mistake and again our lack of creative ideas in the final third, game went to penalties. And you pretty much remember what happened there. But why do I compare it to an FA Cup match? Well, the magnitude of the energy that Liverpool wasted. Both matches were taken beyond the 90 minutes, both had so much drama, and after a really heavy fought battle, both were lost and all previous efforts seemed to be in vain. Unfortunately for the Reds, it seems as if this game absolutely drained them and suddenly they started feeling all this pressure and tiredness from the long season. You know what they say, when you win you don't feel those things, but they still pile up on you. And what both seasons have in common is that Liverpool are running out of breath at the run-in. Luckily, due to the fascinating start of the season, they sit 12 points clear of second, Arsenal, which is a comfortable enough lead, I believe, to be able to win the title even if you let your guard down 1 or 2 times. The thing that baffles me is that I see more fans doubting the Premier League title than supporting the team and its ability to close the remaining 9 matches of the season. I get it, we're all heartbroken, we experienced a week of nightmares and for the first time lost 2 games in a row, and they were the worst possible to lose. But it still doesn't take away from everything Slot built throughout his first months as a Scouser. And let's not forget that it is still a transition year and not one of these players is there because Slot wanted to buy him. So we still have no clue what this project would turn out to be after a couple of changes have been made in the summer. There is, however, one aspect at which Slot may have made a big mistake, and it is rotating the squad. He expressed multiple times in front of journalists that he prefers to play with just a handful of players, and maybe at Feyenoord that was possible, but in leagues such as the first tier in England, it is just so hard to do. You combine the tough schedule that is completely stacked with matches, with the intensity that football is being played at in England, and you have a recipe for physical and emotional exhaustion of the players. Klopp tasted it a lot of times during his time as a Liverpool manager. Last year the case was the same players seemed completely out of breath and unfocused during the final months, and the Red season fell off right there and then. It is about to happen again and again, because I firmly believe that in big clubs such as this, you have to be able to rotate efficiently. Yes, Slot seemed unhappy with some of our attackers. I don't blame him, to be honest. This season, if it wasn't for Salah, we would struggle to even qualify for top 4. Luis Diaz and Jota are ineffective, Nunes' performance is the football epitome of Russian roulette, and Chiesa seemed to fail to get accustomed to English football, which was the main concern when he came in the summer. And just as Gakpo started finding rhythm, he got injured. But there are positions on the pitch in which some might argue Slot is very hesitant to make a change. Regardless, Liverpool's level has gone down. There's no denying that. And after a terrible week, there is an international break, which I see as something rather productive for them. Just because even though they play in their national teams, they would have the needed extra time to mentally reset themselves and come back fierce to close the 20th Premier League title in the remaining 9 matches to come.